Hello everybody and welcome back to my channel. My name is Caitlin Costello and I am a YA author here on YouTube. When this video goes live, we will be 12 hours before one of the largest writing events of the year, and that is called NaNoWriMo. You've probably been seeing a lot of it if you've been watching AuthorTube videos here on YouTube, but if you're new and stumbling upon this video the day of or a little bit into the month of November, National Novel Writing Month, or NaNoWriMo, is where writers and artists and any normal person from around the world tries to write 50,000 words in a month. That breaks down to about 1,667 words a day. Now, I've been doing NaNoWriMo for 9 years, and I've won almost all of those, but I find no matter how much I try and plan and figure everything out, I always come back to a few days before NaNoWriMo starts feeling like I'm not ready. And if that's you, that is totally okay. And I'm going to tell you why. Now, there are 3 main terms that we use for writers during NaNoWriMo, but also outside. And those are planner, pantser or discovery writer, and a plantster. So what these are is you have your planners, and they outline and they plan and they make character charts and they keep track of everything to build the story to what they think it needs to be. Then you have your pantsers, who have no idea what's going to happen in the next scene and are just going and writing and figuring it out as they go. And finally, you have your plansters, and these are your people that have a general idea, maybe a few bullet points, maybe a few scenes planned ahead, but they don't really know the full arc of the story. And I would say I fall into that last category. When I first started writing, I had no idea what was happening. I was just writing and producing and just word vomiting onto the page, and I highly recommend that process. It does make a bit more work cleaning the process up later, but I personally find it more fun. Now, I'm a little bit further into my career and I have a ongoing series, so I do need to keep track of a few things, and having a more planster mindset works a bit better for me. But I still find myself coming to NaNoWriMo and going, I don't know what to do. I made a video last week about how I tried sticking to a 5 a.m. routine for a week. And then this week, I've slept until 9:30 every day this week. It just is what it is. And you know what I call that? And we're gonna use some character alignments here. Chaotic good. So if you're like me and you try really hard to have a routine, you try really hard to have these ideas, you might fluctuate, like I do, between chaotic good and neutral good. Now, chaotic good is where act only on your conscience and you do what works for you, and you have little regard for whatever everybody else is doing. You're a free spirit and you have little regard for rules and regulations. Some examples of characters that fall into the chaotic good category would be Robin Hood. He wants to do good for his people, and in order to do that, he's stealing from the rich, because why should they get all that money and the poor not? Little regards for the laws and the fact that he's stealing, but he's still doing good. The Weasley twins. They just want to bring joy and happiness and do their Weasley prankster things, but nothing that they do is malicious. And finally, Han Solo. Wants to do good things, but also like works for a bounty hunter for a while and gets money for Jabba the Hutt, and is not a great person, but you still love him. Some examples of chaotic neutral would be Deadpool. Does not care about the rules, doesn't really want to do good, doesn't really do bad, and is just kind of a mercenary doing whatever the heck he wants. Neutral good is an example of when people try to follow all the rules, but also understand that sometimes rules need to be broken in order for the greater good. An example of this would be Gandalf the Grey from Lord of the Rings, Spider-Man or Thor, and and Leia from Star Wars. So how does all of this relate back to NaNoWriMo? Well, let me get my chart. So for NaNoWriMo, the general consensus or the rule is that you need to write 1,667 words a day in order to make the 50,000 word mark. But you're also highly encouraged to get as much writing done early as you can because of how the month tends to go and energy levels and things like that. If you stick to the rules where you write 667 words a day every single day, and that is what you do, and you do it religiously at the same time, or you have the same routine, I think you definitely fall into the neutral, or not neutral good, lawful good category, where everything has to be exact. Neutral good, you're going to have a little bit more flex and routine. You might try to have a routine, but things might go out the window, and you might be a person that's not writing a new story. You might be working on previous draft or something, or you might have already started something and you're working on that. Chaotic good, you could have no routine. You're just doing whatever the heck you want, and if you write all the words, cool. If you write 10,000 words in a day, cool. If you write 0 words the next day, okay. You have no routine, you don't have a plan, you don't have anything idea what you're doing, you're just going. Those could be examples. I do know that there is ways that people could argue that otherwise. I feel like I fluctuate, especially when I'm drafting. I am a whole different person when I'm editing. The cat hair just flew. But one of the ways that I try to have a routine, but also break the rules, is, this is wrinkled because I've been having it moving about my desk, my word count tracker. So obviously they try to have you write 1,667 words a day. And I know I can do that, but sometimes life doesn't let you do that. So I made this little chart, which is really simple. This is available on my website if you want to make your own copy. And I did, last year I did make a video all about how I use this in my process, but you can see I just put the number for the date. Don't mind my messy handwriting. I am awful at handwriting. And I spilled water on this, like chaotic. What my actual goal, word count for the day, and what I actually got. And then I also write through anything that I know is going to be happening. So then I can fluctuate and know, okay, I'm gonna pick up extra words this day. And if you want to write more in the month, this is how you can track it. And this is just one way that I'm like, I know I'm gonna be chaotic. I know my schedule is gonna be out the window, and I have this, and this on these days, and I'm not gonna be able to focus, but I can fix it. So that's where the neutral good comes in. Neutral good is during Preptober, trying to plan for next month, when I'm doing writing sprints, when I'm saying I'm gonna go to bed at this time, but I really stay up until midnight, and I'm not nice to myself. And if you're like me and you do this, welcome to the party. It's totally cool. This video, I'm sure, is gonna be a hot mess for myself to edit later. I made notes, but I didn't listen to it. So if you're like me and you're like, I don't know if I can do this because I am scatterbrained, because I have a hard time focusing, because I have so many things that I'm doing, but you still want to try it, you definitely still can. NaNoWriMo is for fun. NaNoWriMo is just for you to be as creative as you can and to set up a habit of writing every day, or attempting to write every day for 30 days straight. If the idea of the word count stresses you out, don't worry about it. Say, I'm going to set a timer and write for 30 minutes a day, and that's going to be my act of rebellion. Say you're going to get up at this time and you're going to only write during this time. But if you want to be more adventurous, you can say, I'm only going to write on my phone, and I'm going to write on the bus every day when I go to work. You don't have to be at a computer. You can do nano however you want to. And that is the chaotic parts of it that I love. I think that's where I'm gonna end this. I don't know if this is any help, but if it was, this is an example of my chaotic brain. I had this idea for this video in the shower and I decided to film it. I don't know if it's actually any good. Editing Caitlin will tell me here. I love you all. My first writing live stream for this month will be happening tomorrow, Sunday, November 1st at 7 p.m. on this channel. That is Eastern Standard Time. If you want to attempt to have a little bit more structure and routine, I do have 2 separate workbooks that you could get. Both would be applicable to what's going on with NaNoWriMo. The Planning Your Prep is specifically for NaNoWriMo and focusing on building your plot and getting ready for NaNoWriMo. And Planning Your Plot is a 4-month workbook with guided planning things. See, I try to be a planner. I build everything. I tend to ditch it, but that's just me. But I like having it, and it's where you can write down what your month is going to look like, how you're going to plan things down the road. So if you complete NaNoWriMo and you get to the now what month, that would be a great way to use it. And both of these workbooks are available for $5 and they're a PDF download. My audiobook is available from all of these locations, and if you don't have the cash for an audiobook right now, it is available also as a podcast from these places. If you do listen to it, or however you do it, please leave a review or a rating, as it really helps me. And if you prefer to have a print or ebook edition, I also have a ton. Those are also available on a ton of different stores. I am currently running a sale through tonight at midnight using code SPOOKY to get 20% off all signed copies of my books. And I have a bunch still available, so I'd love to send one home with you or get ready for an early Christmas present. All of my social media links are listed down below in the description, where you can see daily how I'm doing with Nano. I'm still trying to decide how I'm going to vlog this month, so you let me know what you want to see. Part of me wants to try daily vlogging, but part of me is also scared, so we might do weekly, or it might be like every 3 days. I'm excited. I'm very excited. November has a lot coming for it, and I can't wait for it to get here. Okay. I love you all, and I will see you very soon. Bye.